So I don't really know how to start this video, but just before recording I broke a nail, so I've been trying to grow it out past 5 weeks, so am I happy? No. So I apologize for any background noise. My parents are currently watching TV, and I realized that I didn't have like a beginning to this video. Obviously you have an idea of it by the title of it, but tomorrow's February 1st, basically, and tomorrow is the start of this project where I read basically only contemporary books for the first 2 weeks of February until Valentine's Day. And tomorrow I work, so it's Friday, which means I only get a clip in until after 5 p.m., which is not the best, so I decided to film a little bit of an intro before the next clip, which will be on the actual date, but I can at least explain a little bit what the idea of this video is and show the books that I'm going to be reading. I apologize for my hair because I'm literally about to go to bed when I was like, I should probably do this before tomorrow, and I'm in my PJs and my nails just broke, so I'm having a little bit of a rough time right now, but let's just get into it. So I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Amanda, and on today's video I'm going to be reading contemporary books. I have selected them, and I actually have another one that I might order for those 2 weeks, but I will talk about it a little bit more after I present these books. Jesus, I'm a little tired, if you can tell. I was not feeling well today. I actually only went in for half the day at work, so I'm a little out of it, but this needs to get done. And you know, things that cheer me up? Books. So let's just do it. So basically I got the idea because I wanted to be a little more creative on YouTube, and I like books, so I wanted to do it about books. And one of the genres I do not like, or at least I don't think I like, is contemporary. So romance. I do like romance mangas. I don't think I like novels. Basically, this spawned from the fact that it's February, so the love month. It also spawned because I know Contemporary-a-thon is a readathon that exists, but I'm obviously not going to be participating because I don't read contemporary, but I do have a couple of contemporary books on my shelves. So I decided, hey, why not just read those and have like be a special video for the month, and so this video was created. I have picked 3 novels that is not on my TBR. These were specially picked because they're literally the only romance contemporary books that I have. It is these 3 books, and then I filmed my TBR video yesterday, and I picked this romance manga. This is Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl Volume 2. I read the first volume back in November or December. It's a lesbian love story following bunch of different lesbian couples. The art's cute, the girls are cute. I had a problem with the first one, but these are different characters, so I think I'm gonna love it even more because I was not a fan of the 2 main character girls, but these are cute, so we shall see how it goes. And that is more of like, this pick was more of an intermediate pick for the novels because I might get fed up of reading contemporary novels, especially if I'm not having fun, so I decided, hey, while it's on my TBR for the month, might as well throw it in because it still fits with the theme of this video. So, getting into the novels, we've got 2 from the same author and 1 from a different author, but I'm actually the most excited about. Starting with the one with the same author, the first I have is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which is a book I bought years ago, and I just never got around to reading it, and honestly, not excited. I have read 2 John Green books so far. I've read Looking for Alaska and An Abundance of Catherine. I did not like An Abundance of Catherine. It was boring, and Looking for Alaska I liked, but it wasn't really that good either, in my opinion. So now I have to read The Fault in Our Stars, which I think I can officially say is one of his more popular books. Obviously, they have a movie about it and all that. I do know that it is about 2 cancer patients, and I do know the ending, so maybe that will affect my overall judgment, but I have thought about getting rid of this book for so long, so at the same time, this challenge will help me see if I should really keep this book or not, because I've already gotten rid of 1 John Green book, and I'm actually keeping it just to do an unhaul video, so like stay tuned for that. So you know, while I'm here, might as well read his other books and see if I can include them in that unhaul. So the next one is Paper Towns by John Green. This is a little bit more unknown to me. I have no idea what this book is about. I know there is a movie, but I actually don't know what that movie is about. I think I did get spoiled maybe from like the plot twist of the end, so we'll see how that goes, if that was correct or if that's just the movie version. But it is a pretty big girthy book, so I'm a little bit scared, but you know what, we're gonna have to power through it because this is gonna be a challenge for me. And the next one is actually the one I'm most excited about of all the 3 novels, and that is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I picked this up I think in the month of December or November, one of those months. I picked it up for my monthly TBR and I never read it. And there is a Netflix movie, and I'm actually really excited to watch the Netflix movie because little tidbit about me, I really like rom-coms. I don't like just plain romances. A couple of them I do, but I really like rom-coms. So it's really weird to think that I like all these other romance genres, like in movies and manga and graphic novels and comic books, but not in novels. So this is also to see if I've been lying to myself and I actually enjoy romance. So we shall see. I mean, they're not too different in genre. They're all contemporary. There's no like paranormal romance or anything of the other romance genres, except for the manga. So maybe like this is not the way to go, but you know what? I already own these books and I'm not about to buy some contemporary books without even knowing if I like contemporary books, unless they've already stuck out to me, but I would have owned them if that was the case. So that's my little intro. The other book that I will potentially get is it is called The Bride Was a Boy, which is about a transgender love story, and seems really interesting. Love stories, that counts. And I think that'll be good because then I can include some in between from reading it. So tomorrow I'm gonna read my very first book. I probably won't be reading tomorrow during work because I actually want to try a chapter each of these books and then see which one I want to start and concentrate on. I will be reading a little bit of each book per day for the next 2 weeks. Like, I think the 2 John Green books I want to read 1 to 2 chapters a day, and To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I might want to read 5 chapters a day, but I want to concentrate on one in case I'm like really feeling like reading more than just a chapter or 2, and I want to see which one I'm gonna enjoy out of all that. I'm excited, but also scared, because if I don't like any of the books, I'm stuck with them for the next 2 weeks just for this video. But you know, I'm a little bit like being cheeky too, because like I said, I like other romance stuff. So why wouldn't I like romance novels? We shall see. So that's a little bit of an intro video. A little bit longer than most, but I had to explain a little bit, at least the idea of it. I might not be vlogging every day and every second like I would for a reading vlog or for a readathon, but I'm basically going to check in and then give my thoughts on these books. It's also just to see my first experience with reading like really hard, heavy contemporary books, which is not something I do a lot. So yeah, that's the beginning. I definitely will be updating tomorrow only because I'm going to read a first chapter of each and then say which one I want to concentrate on. Hopefully this is a good video. Hopefully I like any of the books. My predictions, I guess, for the beginning is that I'm probably going to love To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because I've heard everyone really like it, and I'm definitely probably going to love the manga. Now the John Green ones, I don't know. I'm like in between because okay, The Fault in Our Stars is about cancer patients, like young cancer patients in love, and like I don't think I'm gonna love it, but I remember reading My Sister's Keeper like in school, and I really liked it, so it might be a twist of a lifetime, who knows, and depending on what this one is about, I might like it just as much, but I don't know, because I thought I was gonna like John Green books, and surprise, surprise, I didn't like his last books I read, so I'm not here because I'm going literally insane with tiredness, and I think I've explained this challenge enough. But yeah, this is, I guess, my own take on Contemporary-a-thon, but for 2 weeks of February. So I'm basically torturing myself if I don't like these. which is always fun, you know. People, we like to see people torture themselves, you know, especially when it comes from books and gotta get some good juicy content, some spicy tea, as I like to say. So yeah, I'm gonna end that here for tonight, and the next clip will be me tomorrow when I get home from work and I start reading a chapter per book. I keep bringing up a random book every single time, but you know the feeling of holding a book in your hands? That's what it feels like for me. So I'm out of here, and I'll pass you over to tomorrow me. Past, future me. Past, well, whoa. It's gonna be future me for me filming this now, but it's gonna be past me for those watching. Oh, man. Woo. That's a big brain thing for right before I go to bed. To the next clip. Hello there. So I am back. It is now nighttime. It's like 10:30 at night. I did not update after work because I actually went to do some groceries and stuff, and then I watched a show with my mom, and then I had supper, and then I took a shower, as you can see. And now I'm all ready to cuddle up in my bed and read. So I'm gonna read a chapter of every book. So chapter of To All the Boys I Loved Before, chapter of Paper Towns, and a chapter of The Fault in Our Stars. I will update either once I've read every first chapter and decide which one I want to continue. I'm probably going to start with The Fault in Our Stars just because it's the one I like the least, or at least I think I'll like the least. So I kind of want to just get out of the way, get rid of it. So that's the plans right now. It might take me a while to get through all 3 books. You gotta do what you gotta do, and hopefully I enjoy one of them, because if I don't, then I'm screwed. But let me do that and come back once I've done reading all the chapters. Good morning there. If you couldn't tell, I did not update last night. It's the next morning, Saturday, February 2nd. I ended up falling asleep. I did read the chapters. I did read the first chapter of every book, but I ended up falling asleep right after. And so here we are the next morning. It's like, I think like 11. It's 11:48. I'm filming on the front end of my camera because the lighting is actually good today. So I can actually see if I'm in shot or if the books are in shot this time, which is, you know, always what you want. I'm gonna give my opinions on the books based off their first chapter. One of them I was surprised that I was actually interested in, and one did not shock me. So, starting off with the one that I'm actually most interested in, just based off the first chapter, is Paper Towns by John Green. I'm basically just interested in Margot's character so far. As I think the main character says, she is a mystery, she's become a mystery. And I just really want to know why she's so mysterious and stuff, so that's probably going to be the first read. I do need to read a chapter of each book today. That's my daily goal. Technically, I should be reading 5 chapters of the next book. The next one that I'm interested in is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Okay, to be fair, it's not fair to All the Boys I Loved Before because both John Green books, the first chapter, technically Paper Towns also had a prologue. But the prologue plus chapter 1 in Paper Towns brings me to page 25. And To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I'm only on page 7, so it's not fair to compare them, I think, because it's not a lot, but I would have to read maybe 5 chapters to get to the same page count. So unfortunately, based on only the first chapter, this is the second one that I'm interested in. To All the Boys I Loved Before is the one I would have to read 5 chapters a day. So I'm gonna have to just recalculate that because I did not read 5 chapters yesterday. So I might have to read a little bit more depending on what the number is. But yeah, I think that'll be fair too, because the John Green books are way more, their chapters are bigger than To All the Boys I Loved Before, which I think is fair. And the next one, I removed the dust jacket, but it's The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. As predicted, I'm not a big fan of this one. The first chapter was kind of weird. I am liking Hazel because she acts very different, I guess, than most characters I've read so far in terms of attitude-wise, which I think ties in with the whole cancer part, but I can't say. But Augustus is a little weird. I'm not completely sure of his character yet. Okay, those have read the book. This is not really a spoiler. It's in the first chapter, but Hazel has lung cancer or something to do with her lungs, so she has to have like an oxygen tank, a gas tank, yeah, okay, an oxygen tank to breathe, as she says, because her lungs suck at being lungs, which I think is like a really good description. And like, okay, once you meet the character Augustus or whatever his name is, and then they go outside to wait for Hazel's mom or something, he like pulls out a cigarette and like puts it in his mouth, and she's like, oh my god, of course you have to be this gorgeous guy, but you have to be smoking, which, because, you know, she has like this lung thing, so she can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna date you just because you're hot, even though you smoke and might kill me. And then like he comes up with that excuse of like he puts the thing that kills in his mouth, but he doesn't give it the power to kill or whatever, which of like, it was so well said that I'm like, was he just like it just seemed like he came up with it on the spot so that he could date her. You know, like, it didn't feel genuine. I was like, really, bitch? Like, that's what you do, but you think that's the like, I don't know. I just feel very weird. I don't like his character. I don't like the fact that he kept staring at her the entire time. Like, I get she's beautiful, but like, dude, get your dick out of your head or something. Like, stop thinking with your dick. And like, Jesus, like, I don't know. I'm not liking it too far, but it's only chapter 1, so I can't say. But I am liking Hazel's character, which I think might be the reason why I read the book if I have a motivation to. So that's my overall thoughts on the book. Like I said, I'm gonna read the next following chapters of the book, starting with Paper Towns, because I quite am enjoying it so far. I don't know how well I'm gonna enjoy it. I read some reviews last night before I fell asleep, and it was like, Paper Towns kind of reminds everyone of like Looking for Alaska and An Abundance of Catherine, and to be honest, I already thought those two books sounded similar, but now to think that Paper Towns is gonna be that, like, I'm not freaking excited. Like, I did not like those books. Like, I liked one more than the other, but like not enough to be like, I like the storyline, so I am unsure of how to feel about that. I will come back when I have an opinion on something, or I'm through 25% of each book. So whenever that is, I'll see you then. Hello there, so it is the 3rd day of the month, so February 3rd, if you didn't know. I am updating not on the books, so my opinions haven't changed. I'm anything bored by these books. I only read a chapter of each so far, but it's pretty boring so far. Like, Paper Towns is gonna... Not interested in it anymore after reading the 2nd chapter. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, we haven't really gotten into the plot yet. It's only the 2nd chapter, and her sister just left or is leaving to go to Scotland. So not much has happened, so I can't blame it. What's it called? Fault in Our Stars. Just as bored than I was before, and I'm a little torn. There was a comment that was said in the 2nd chapter that I didn't really like, about like how there's boy movies and girl movies. Like, since when are movies gender specific? But you know, whatever. But I'm actually updating because I watched Ashley Alpage's video for her manga book club. She chose 2 books, and they're both contemporary, so I can add them to my challenge, because at this point I need some good manga in my life. So the first being Our Horror Ride. This is one of my favorite anime series of all time, and they recently started releasing the English version, so I'm like pre-ordering all the books at once as they come out, and she chose this, so now I get a chance to read it without having to wait on my damn box to suggest me what to read. And the next book she chose is A Silent Voice, which is like super cool because, well, okay, to be fair, I don't know if this is actually a contemporary, so that's why I'm not too sure if I should include it on my list of challenges for this month, to read contemporary stories, because I think it's more of a slice of life contemporary, but I don't think it's the main point of the story, so I might not really read it, but I don't know. Those are 2 options. I'm just letting y'all know that those are options. Our Horror Ride is definitely on the list, so I'm definitely going to be reading it for this challenge video, whatever, but this one I'm unsure. And If the Bride Was a Boy too. I might, though, because it's like a transgender love story. I just have to buy it. I'm actually going to put some books away because I just filmed a haul video, so I have all these new books to put away. So that is like, I'm hyped. I keep turning around in my room you can tell, you can literally have a 360-degree view of my room now. So, appreciate that. Appreciate it. I will update you when I'm 25% through the books at this point, because there really is no point updating every day like I mentioned yesterday, because I'm just as bored. Unless there's like a opinion thing, like I mentioned yesterday. How am I repeating myself? Anyways, I'll see you whenever I read. Or get to 25%. Yeah. Hi there, so it's been a couple of days since I last did an update. It is now February 6th, and I haven't read in the past 3 days. I have been kind of busy-ish Monday and yesterday. So Monday and Tuesday, I wasn't feeling well, and today I'm feeling well, but I need to catch up on Monday and Tuesday. So I have to read 3 chapters of The Fault in Our Stars, which I'm going to read first because I wanted to get out of the way. The next one I have to read is Paper Towns. I need to read 6 chapters of Paper Towns. Finally, for To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I need to read 15 chapters, which shouldn't be too much because those chapters are pretty short. But I decided, hey, to have some entertaining content in the video, I might as well read those chapters and then give my opinions as I read them, because I'm probably going to be past 25%, which I said would be the next time I update on my opinions. Actually, a lot of pages. I'm at page 48, which is chapter 4, and I need to read up to chapter 7, which brings me to 105, which is more than 50 pages that I have to read. I guess before I get started, I can talk a little bit about which one I'm most interested in reading right now. So the one I'm most interested in is To All the Boys I Loved Before, which is kind of what I thought it would be. It's the one I was most interested in from the beginning. So there's that. The second one would have to be Fault in Our Stars. I am not enjoying it as much as like most people would be, but I like the main character. I like Hazel, which makes me want to read the book because she's the main character. And last, it would have to be Paper Towns, because honestly, it just sounds like every other book that I've read so far by John Green, like Looking for Alaska and The Abundance of Catherine. At least the character seems to be the same, literally. Like, Margot just seems to be like Alaska was in Looking for Alaska. And I would say the main character is probably the least annoying male character that I've read by John Green so far, not including The Fault in Our Stars. The other ones were kind of assholes, to be honest. And I mean, this one hasn't done anything yet for me to call him an asshole. But he doesn't seem to have some sort of personality yet, which may be why I think that. But Margot really reminds me of Alaska. So yeah, I'm at the part where they're doing the prank, or I don't know what. I don't even know where I'm at with this one. I think it's like she just watched a movie with Augustus or something like that. And To All the Boys I Loved Before is that the sister just left. She just left, and I think it's like a day after she just left or something. We met Peter so far. We got a little backstory about like how they knew each other and how they're like not friends, which I'm really interested in. Oh yeah, also, I didn't think I could relate so much to Laura Jean. Like, when she talks about, she doesn't really mention it as being anxiety, but the way she describes the way she feels about certain things, it definitely like clicks and with how I feel when I have anxiety and stuff. And such a weird thing to be relating to this character so early into the book, but I can already feel myself relating to her. Obviously not the thing about like the sisters, because I'm an only child. I'm gonna read The Fault in Our Stars, then Paper Towns, and then To All the Boys I Loved Before. So I will record me reading Fault in Our Stars, but if it gets boring, I'll just stop it. Alright, I'm gonna finish reading the rest because I just read a whole chapter, and I have no more opinions than what I had before. So I'm just gonna finish the 40 so pages and come back with my thoughts. So, I have to whisper a little bit because it is 11 p.m. Parents are sleeping. But I did finish reading 2 books. I didn't finish reading them. I read the chapters that I wanted to read for 2 books. So I read The Fault in Our Stars first, and I'm enjoying it a little bit more than I thought I would. It's probably the one I'm in second place of the one I'm most interested in. The other one would be To All the Boys I Loved Before. I'm really enjoying that one. I didn't think I would get attached to the characters and like a contemporary story, but it's like kind of funny, and I think that's what I like. It's very rom-com-ish, and I like rom-coms and movies, so I think that's like helping a lot. Also, I'm filming at a weird angle, if you can tell. The one that I didn't get to reading, and that's only because I just noticed something, but Paper Towns, which I have right here, I was gonna start reading it, and I needed to read 6 chapters to catch up from Monday, Tuesday, and today. But I've noticed that once we get to part 2, the chapters like restart. So instead of being like chapter 10, it goes back to being chapter 1. And I didn't calculate that when I did the chapters. I think only calculated it from chapter 21, 20, or whatever it is. But it's like way more than that. It's like a good 9 chapters more. So I have to recalculate that, and honestly, I'm tired, and I work tomorrow, so I'm not going to read Paper Towns tonight. I'll catch up on it tomorrow once I calculate the chapters. I don't know. I'll probably do that when I get back from work. I have an appointment tomorrow, though, so I can't go, like, straight home and read. But I did catch up on 2 of the books, and it's the ones that I'm most interested in, so very happy about that. I'm 33% through Fault in Our Stars and 29% through To All the Boys I Loved Before. So I might update when I'm 50% through, but I'm not sure because, like, not that anything particularly interesting has happened, except for To All the Boys I Loved Before. Like, the main plot has happened, but, like, I don't want to talk about spoilery things in the book. I am enjoying the writing as well in all of them so far. I would say even in Paper Towns, the writing's not too bad. I think it's more the characters. I do like John Green's writing. That's one thing. I do like his writing. I don't have a problem with it. It's the characters that I mostly have a problem with. All the Boys I Loved Before. Oh god, okay. You can talk a little about that. So, I obviously really like Laura Jean. I can relate to her quite often in situations, especially in, like, the main plot of this situation right now. And, like, we're getting to know Josh a little bit better. I don't know what his last name is. And Peter Kravinsky, I think his name is Peter K. I don't know. I'm not sure which of the 2 I like more. Right now, we're just kind of like getting to know them. I would say if she had to end up with one of them, I would prefer Peter over Josh, just because I wouldn't like the whole "you dated my sister" type of thing. But we'll see. So far, we're at like this point in the story where I guess both of the boys are kind of getting intertwined into her life because of what happened. So I'm gonna end it here for tonight because, like I said, I'm tired and I have to whisper, so I can't really go into too many details. But that's my update. I'm gonna go because I don't even know if you can hear me. But I will update soon when I read more. This is going really well, kind of. I don't know. Hi there, so I'm gonna give a little bit of an update. It is now February 7th, so it is officially going to be a week starting tomorrow. Sorry, I'm really tired. And I just recalculated all the books that I need to read for this readathon. And basically, I thought I was like doing okay, but turns out I'm not. So for The Fault in Our Stars, I need to read, hold on, I wrote it all on a piece of paper so I don't lose myself. So for The Fault in Our Stars, I need to read 3 chapters a day to catch up. For Paper Towns, I need to read 4 chapters a day, which is a lot more than I thought. And To All the Boys I Loved Before, I need to read 7 chapters a day, which is a lot considering, but they're quite short chapters, so I'm not too scared to not accomplish it. Also, I got a new book. I ordered some books for next week one after this video. I just got this book in the mail today. I ordered it with 3 other books. One is If the Bride Was a Boy, which is one of the mangas that I'm going to be reading for this video. And then I picked up 2 books that I picked from my TBR, so The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein and These Broken Stars. But lately, I was really drawn into Love and Gelato, which is kind of the reason why I made this video in the first place, but I didn't really feel like buying a book for this video, but then I had gift cards, and I was already ordering from Chapters, and I decided, why the heck not? So I did, and I really want to read it. I'm really intrigued by it. I think out of all the contemporary books, I'm intrigued by this one and To All the Boys I Loved Before. But then that would bring me to 4 novels and 3 manga? Actually, I discovered that I can include another manga. So I could include The Bride Was a Boy, Our Heart Ride, Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl, and Alice in the Country of Clover, because it's a love story. It's, I kind of explained it in my TBR, but it follows a girl. Okay, there's a first manga called Alice in the Country of Hearts. And basically it's a story where it's a girl who can end up with one guy, but there's multiple love interests. So I won't spoil who she ends up with in the main one, but they then made mangas based off the other guys you can end up with, or she can end up with. And this one, Alice in the Country of Clover, is you end up with the Cheshire Cat. And there's like a lot of volumes of this. I would have 4 mangas, 4 novels, which I think would be good because that's like a total of like 8 books, and all of them, 4 novels, 4 mangas, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna first read the books that I already started right now. So I'm gonna read the chapters I need for the books, and then depending on how I feel, I will either start Love and Gelato or not start it. I don't know. I do want to read a manga. I'm kind of tempted to read The Bride Was a Boy because I just got it today and it looks so cute, and the art is really cute, and it is a transgender love story, I have since found out. I'm so down for that. And it's based on a true story. I believe it's the author and the artist, which is the same person, this is their story. I guess I can give a little bit of a rating from last night because I think I rambled a bit when I was done, but it didn't make any sense. Paper Towns would have to be last because, one, I haven't read anything since Sunday, I think, or something like that, and I'm not interested. The second one would have to be The Fault in Our Stars. I like Hazel as main character. I hope it continues to concentrate on her because that's what I'll care about. And next one is To All the Boys I Loved Before. We finally got into the main plot, and I'm really into it. Yeah, I'm gonna read, starting with Paper Towns because I didn't read it last night. And I'll come back whenever that is. I might not come back tonight. I might, if I have an opinion on the books. I believe my parents are watching hockey, so I'm gonna go and read and listen to some ASMR, and hopefully I don't fall asleep while reading because I'm really tired. But yeah, I should stop so I can read. Yeah. See you in the next clip whenever that is. Hello, so I'm back with another update. It is February 11th, and there is, including today, 4 days until February 14th, which is the end of this video, and I have some updates because I have been reading. Not as much as I thought I would, but here's my update and my thoughts on the books. So, first one I'll present is the one I'm probably the most into. So I changed the angle a little bit. Sorry about that. My arm's getting tired. But basically this was a book that I started, I think, a week after. I'm currently on chapter 9, page 113. So I need to read, I think, 4 or 5 chapters of this daily to finish it by Thursday. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. It's not like one of my ultimate favorite books. Like, it might not be a 5 out of 5 because I'm not really interested in the contemporary part, although we have just met the dude, I'm assuming, who she will hook up with. But I am liking the mystery behind it. I'm really liking her relationship with her uh, father, and her her getting confused about her relationship with her mother and things like that. And it just seems like really great so far. I am liking it a lot so far. I like the writing as well. It just flows really nice. So that's the one I would say I'm most interested in. The one I'm second most interested in is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. And in this one, I am on chapter 39, which is page 194. So I'm almost done this book. I believe I'm like at 49% or something. So almost half if you know, give me that 1%. But I'm also really enjoying this one. It's just that now we're kind of, I guess I'm just kind of interested to see where it's gonna go and who she's gonna end up with. I do have a feeling of who she's gonna end up with, only because I think I've like kind of spoiled myself for the book unknowingly, because I didn't know if I was gonna read it or not back then, at the time. But I'm still intrigued, and I'm a little bit confused about the whole Genevieve. That's how I would say it because it's a French name. But I am confused about how Genevieve's character, like, I understand why she's like, okay, it's hard to talk about that character because personally, I think that it's an unnecessary plot, the whole Genevieve thing with Peter and whatnot. But I also understand that it needs to have, like, it needs to be a plot because then the whole thing would make sense. So I do understand it, although I do think it's like unnecessary personally. Still like Laura Jean's character, I can relate to her so much in certain moments. There are certain moments I cannot relate to her because she does things that like I never would in a million years do. But other parts I can kind of relate to. Just on, like, I guess I relate to her a little bit less than I did in the beginning, which I think is normal because, you know, we're not the same person. But I really like this one too. Love the writing. I would say that To All the Boys I Loved Before and Love and Gelato are probably like my favorite writing. But at the same time, I'm only reading 3 different authors, so it would make sense, you know? And it's not like the John Green ones are any bad, or not bad or anything. So actually, speaking of John Green, let's get into the next book, I guess, that I'm interested in, and that is The Fault in Our Stars. This one, I'm on chapter 11, page 154. I think this one I'm also almost 50% through or something. Seems like I'm a little bit, like, it looks like I'm more than 50%, but I'm not sure. This one I am enjoying, but it's not like, I still don't know how I feel about the whole relationship, or I guess the contemporary part of the story. I'm basically reading it for the main character, Hazel. I still really like her. I still really like who she is as a character. She's probably my favorite character so far out of all of the main girl characters. Even the boy ones, because let's just not get into the boys. But yeah, I think she's like my favorite one, even though it's not necessarily the book I love the most right now. I do think I'm gonna give it like a good rating because I do know where this is going. But like, we do have a part where Augustus just said something quite crucial. Maybe if you know what I'm talking about, but something happened in chapter 10, and I was like, like, it's going too fast, I guess, and it's a little bit too close to insta-love, which I didn't think I would mind because some mangas are like that, and they could be taken in a comedic purpose in mangas, which is, like, it just works because that's the comedic purpose in it. But in a contemporary, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not like, I guess this one isn't too bad, which is why I'm on the fence. I think if they were too much in love, which it does happen. I can't say that instant love doesn't happen because, like, it's called instant attraction, one night stands happen. And, you know, confliction of emotions and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm not feeling the relationship in this one. I would say I'm not feeling any of the relationships so far. To be fair, Love and Gelato, we've just met the guy, who I'm assuming she'll be, you know, having the contemporary part of the book with. In To All the Boys I Loved Before, I do like the boys more. I think I prefer Peter over Josh, because as I've said before, I don't think I like the nastiness of the whole Josh thing. Although, there was another character that they mentioned, another boy that she sent a letter to, and I recognize the name, but he hasn't been introduced yet, so I'm a little confused. I think it's John Ambrose or something like that. Like, I thought he was one of the options, but I could be wrong. Like, again, I didn't like go into super details when reading about these books, but I thought he was part of it more than Josh was, because I thought Josh was I thought when I first read about Josh, I thought he was the John Ambrose that I had, like, briefly read about when I would see reviews for the book. But, like, now that I saw his name, I'm like, wait, that's not the guy who I was thinking of this entire time. Let's just move on, because we got only one more novel to talk about, and that is Paper Towns. I'm not far into this one. Where am I? I'm on chapter 5, page 118, which is technically not chapter 5 because it restarts freaking chapters in part 2. Technically, it'd be chapter 14 if I calculate all the chapters right. I think this is the one I'm least enjoying because I don't care for the characters at all. I don't care for the male character. I don't care for the female character. I don't care about Margot. I don't care about Quentin. I don't care about any of the characters. They're very, like, they're written the same way as all of his other characters I've read about so far have been written about. Like, Looking for Alaska and An Abundance of Catherine, like, it just feels like I'm reading about the same characters. Like, I don't know. I definitely think he has improved in The Fault in Our Stars, obviously, because I like the main character at least. But this one, like, I don't know. They just introduced, like, the mystery part of the book, which I'm assuming people who have read it know what I'm talking about. And I did not know about, but it makes sense because I know the ending of the book, because I accidentally saw the ending of the movie on Instagram once. So, like, I guess it makes sense if, by what I remember, by the ending, but, like, I'm not interested in all. You can tell by how far I'm into the book. I'm further into the Fault in Our Stars and To All the Boys I Loved Before, and that's, like, part of one of the first books I started. I think I'm even further into Love and Gelato than I am into Paper Towns. Okay, I'm not, but I'm off by, like, 5 pages. So, yeah, I'm not enjoying it. I'm just, like, kind of intrigued with the whole, like, mystery part of it, and the only reason I'm intrigued is because I'm like, how does it tie in with the ending? That's it. I really could care less. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I do want to, just for the sake of this challenge, and I don't want my first DNF book to be John Green. And honestly, if I can read 2 of John Green's book and get through Serafina, I think I can get through Paper Towns, but I'm unsure. I gotta do lots more reading tonight, so I don't know if I'll update tomorrow. I probably should update every day until the end now, because it is nearing the end. But yeah, there hasn't been anything interesting. I said I would, like, film bits if I'm, like, as I'm reading, there's interesting thing to talk about, but there's, like, nothing interesting to talk about, honestly, and I think that's just because they're contemporary books. Like, like, what am I expecting to happen? Like, nothing interesting is gonna happen. I think the only one that would be a contender for moments like that would be Love and Gelato, but I think even that's pushing it. Like, whatever. Guess I could update a little bit about the mangas that I'm reading. I haven't finished any of them. I did start one yesterday. I only read the first chapter because it's way too early in the morning to be reading. At least because I just literally woke up. And I started The Bride Was a Boy, by Chi. Yeah, that's my update. I think the ratings I gave before are very close to what I first said, except that I added an extra book, so the rating kind of goes off, but I don't know which one I said first. Out of the John Green books, I'm actually not sure which one I said I preferred the least at the beginning. I don't know if they've changed or not, but I'm surprised I do like The Fault in Our Stars so much, but I guess I'm not, like, in love with the story. I just like the main character, so I don't know how I'm gonna rate that depending on the ending, but we'll see. So that's where I'm at. It's not too interesting, and honestly, like, I cannot wait to be out of this contemporary read. Like, it's too much contemporary for me to read. Like, I need a good fantasy. I literally have a pile of books, like the books I'm supposed to read this month, like, right next to me. And I'm seeing, like, The Hobbit, and I'm seeing The Bear and the Nightingale, and these Broken Stars. I'm just, can I read them, please? But I can't, because I want to do this video and torture myself, I guess. But yeah, that's the update. That's the end, and I will either The next clip will either be later on tonight or tomorrow. You'll know more than I will because it'll be a couple seconds for you, but like either a full 24 hours or in a couple hours. Who knows? So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hello there. So I am updating you a little bit later than I would. Today is the final day of this video. It is February 14th. Basically, I've been having a rough week, and I actually had the worst day today, I would say. But I have to film the ending and whatnot, so, and I do have some updates, like really good updates. Yesterday, because I wasn't feeling well, I decided to just spend my time reading, which is what I'm gonna do today. I'm actually gonna go make supper. Unexpected. I would have done it earlier because I usually try to do when I get home, but I thought we were going out for Valentine's Day with my mom. And then turns out she just decided to do her own thing, which is fine, but would have been nice to know beforehand. Basically, yesterday I managed to finish 2 books and a manga. I had tried to finish 3, but by the time I finished the 2, it was like really late, and I did not want to not sleep in. I did not want to wake up really tired, which I already always am. But the first book that I finished is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I really liked this way more than I thought I would. I gave it 3.5. I'll go more into details after this clip, like when it's the end, in my wrap-up part of the video. But basically, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for Hazel's perspective. It wasn't as bad as I thought, and I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite, but I am gonna keep it because that's how much I enjoyed it. I really like Hazel. It's definitely a book I would see myself rereading, actually, which is like one of the reasons why I'm keeping it. And I'm just really happy that I read it. I finally read it, and it's the unexpected read, I guess, because I did not expect to like that book, but I did. And the next one I finished is Paper Towns by John Green. So I read both John Green books, which is really amazing, because I didn't think I would ever finish John Green's books. I gave this one 2.5. I did enjoy it, but it was really slow, and like I mentioned in the couple of clips, like I felt that the characters were very generic, but I did later, like the more I read, the more I realized like they are different. I would say that out of all the... I have blue for my arm because of work, sorry. I would say out of all the male characters that John Green has had as like a main male character, kind of like Looking for Alaska, we're following a guy, Abundance of Catherine, we're following a guy, and Paper Towns, we are following a guy, but he's probably like my favorite. He did not piss me off one single time. I have been pissed off by his characters before, and this one I really wasn't, but I actually did not like the girl character as much. Usually I prefer the girl characters over the guy, but this one was like kind of like the switch, where I liked the guy character more than the girl character, which was a nice change. But I would say it dragged on for too long. Like, there were some parts I was just like, was this really necessary to write? Like, what was the point of this? Like, if this book was 100 pages less than what it was, I think I would have enjoyed it so much more. I think I would have even given it like a 4-star, or maybe like a 3.5 or something, because John Green's writing is great. Like, that's the one reason I'm rating this like kind of like okay. I liked his writing. I just think it dragged on, and the reveal at the end wasn't what I thought it would be, but also I didn't like it, and I felt like the ending was a little bit too abrupt. I was just like, that's it. and that's why I had to put it like lower rating. But I still enjoyed it. I just think it took too long for me to read. I think it should have been shorter. And I read Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl Volume 2. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I actually enjoyed it more than the first volume. I guess the couples in this one were just way more fun, and then finally it's like we're introduced to a lot of characters, and like either like who they like, who they love, or just like, I don't know, but they are somehow all not related, but like because it's all in the same school-ish, like if you meet one character in one story, the next story or next chapter will have that person, and then you just get to know them, and sometimes you crisscross with some that you've already met. And thankfully I'm enjoying it. And these ones go for quite a lot of money, so I was kind of scared I wouldn't like it because I didn't. I enjoyed the first one, just not as much, but I really enjoyed it. I'll go into more details tomorrow, but right now I'm gonna go make supper. I have to finish 2 books and 2 mangas, so I'm gonna start on To All the Boys I've Loved Before, then read a manga, then read Love and Gelato, and then read my last manga. Oh no, wait, I have 3 other mangas. I have 3 mangas. So yeah, I'm gonna go make supper, I'm gonna read, and then I will update when I finish a book. Probably that's when I'll update, when I finish one of the books, because I got lots to do. Lots of reading to do. And I need to concentrate on that. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's like 10 at night. I have been reading this entire time. I just finished To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and oh my god. This book, like, this book. Alright, okay, so, see, okay. So, obviously, I really liked it. I would give it, like, I'm torn between 4 and a 5, or like a 4.5. I'm gonna sit on it for a bit, and I'll mention my rating tomorrow when I have time to think about it. Oh my god, like, my heart, like, can't Laura Jean and Peter just get together? Okay, I'm so upset, but, like, I know there's a second book. And I'm upset because I've heard the second book isn't that good. And I can't go to a shitty book and get shitty answers when this is so good. Like, okay, I just need to know. Like, I feel like Hazel in The Fault in Our Stars, which I just read. But, like, I feel like her, I'm like, just, like, let me know what happens. Like, what's the truth? Does she end up with Peter? Like... Oh my god, that ending though. Oh, and like there's a snippet to the second book, and I'm like, I don't have the second book, so I like really wish that I could pick it up. Anyways, I'm ranting because I literally just finished this book, but holy crap, I really liked it. I liked it a lot, but I also think that I enjoyed the characters more. I don't think I can give it like, I don't know. Okay, I'm really gonna have to sit on this rating. I don't think I'll be able to finish my mangas or my other book. I don't think I'll be able to finish Love and Gelato tonight because I'm on page 148 and it is an over 300-page book and I have to go to bed soon because I work tomorrow. But this has cheered me up so much. Okay, I'm really happy I read this because this cheered me up, but at the same time I'm just like, why can't I be in high school again? Like, it sucks, I know, but like if I had read this in high school, like, I don't know, I want to be back in high school and like have a boyfriend, but in reality I'm 24 years old. Anyways, I'm just like having all these thoughts now and it sucks and all I want to do is I don't know, I wish I had like a boyfriend to cuddle up with, you know, like that's what some like contemporary books do to me, like more manga than anything. At the end I'm just like, I just want to cuddle up with someone and like, yeah. But this book, oh my god, I liked it a lot. But see, that's my problem now because I've read multiple contemporaries now. I've read 3 in this video and then I've read 2 others which were John Green, and I don't know if it's just John Green then. I really like Jenny Han's writing. It flows so well. I'm definitely going to be picking up the second one and the third one because I just need to know what happens. And now I'm just wondering what the shit, because now I'm wondering, will John Ambrose become a thing in the second book? Because like he was mentioned in it and like we saw him in it too, like very briefly. Anyways, I'm ranting. No point in ranting because I'm going to go in details tomorrow, but all you gotta know right now, I just finished this book and I loved it. Although I'm not really liking her older sister Margot. I definitely love Kitty. She's like one of the best like little sister characters ever. But I'm not a big fan of Margot. I never really was, but like I got to the like, okay, I kind of accepted the fact that she's an older sister. Maybe she's different. But like she was kind of bitchy near the end. Like when she came back, I was just like, she's really bitchy and like not cool and like not what like she was like in the first part. But anyways, I'm gonna go into more details later. I'm just gonna try to finish my manga because I still got 30 minutes till I go to bed. So I think I can finish one manga. I'd like to finish these two. I'd like to finish Alice in the Country of Hearts because I did start it, and I did start reading The Bride Was a Boy during the weekend, and I only read chapter 1, but that one's going to be quite quick. I just think I won't be able to read all the ones I would have liked to read, so Love and Gelato, I'm definitely not going to be able to finish it, and Our Hover Ride, I don't think I'll be able to finish it just because I won't have enough time if I read the other two mangas, but I would like to finish that because then I'll have 3 books and 3 mangas. I'm definitely still going to be reading these. One, because this is the manga pick from the manga book club that I'm part of. This is one of the books. And Love and Gelato because I already started it, so I'm just not going to forget it. But I've got 10 other books or something on my list on my TBR to read for the next 2 weeks, so we'll see how that is. But I just had an update because I really love this. Holy crap. Oh my god. I'm really happy that I read that. It really cheered me up. But now I'm dreadful to go to work tomorrow because I don't want it to be shitty. I kind of wish I was Laura Jean right now just to can I have boy troubles? I would prefer that other than real life troubles, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I gotta end it now. Bye. Hello there. So it is Saturday, February 16th. I'm about to upload this video today. And I realized I forgot to film the wrap-up clip yesterday, but I was really tired, so it makes sense. But I have read a lot of books for this challenge that I made myself, so let's just get into it. First off, I read 2 mangas. I was holding it right. I read 2 mangas, and I read a total of 3 books, which is really good. I did have 4 books and 4 mangas that I kind of accumulated through the video, as you saw. So I read only half of the manga, and I read 3 out of 4 books, which is really good. And one of them was a late edition, so I'm just happy that I finished those first. So let's get into the ratings and a little bit of opinions on them. So I'm gonna go in the order that I finished them in, if I can remember them very clearly, but the first one that I finished is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and this was a book that I didn't think I was gonna like. I thought it was gonna be my least favorite, and turned out to be out of all the books that I read, my second favorite. And I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. So at first it was kind of slow, as you saw in the earlier clips. I edited it, so I kind of remember how I thought of the book in the beginning, but I first thought that I wouldn't like this, and then I started reading it, and it wasn't really interesting me, but I started to really like Hazel's character, and I just ended up really liking this. I grew more accustomed to Augustus. He didn't really impress me in the first part, and he's not my favorite character, but I get why him and Hazel mesh together and things like that. So it was interesting to see their relationship and also their friendship, but also, their story. And I did really like all the characters in here. There really wasn't a single character I didn't like. Either I was I don't care, or I like them. So, which is good in a book because you want to like the characters, you don't want to hate any of them. So this is a surprising read, and I actually will be keeping this book because another part of why I wanted to do this video was to see if I could get rid of any books, because my bookshelves are getting full, so I just need to get my button gear on reading the books. So challenges like this is always fun. But yeah, 3.5. I really enjoyed this, and I think I'm gonna read it again because I really like reading about Hazel, even though it's gonna be the same story again. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Moving on to the second book that I finished, and that is Paper Towns by John Green. Now this was a book, again, at the beginning that I wasn't really I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. I started liking it, and then I just did not care by the end of it. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5-star rating. It was still interesting because I was interested in finding out about Margot and what happened with her and stuff, but I think it just dragged on for too long. I think I already mentioned this. If it was 100 pages, maybe 150 pages less, I think it would have been more interesting. I get why he wrote it, but it's just not for me. I didn't generally give a shit about the characters, although they were cool. I did sort of enjoy them. I wouldn't enjoy them as much as the Fault in Our Star characters, but because at the end I didn't really give 2 shits about them. So I gave it a 2.5. I don't think I will be keeping it because I don't see myself rereading it, and I didn't like it enough to keep it. I did like the mystery part of it. I think John Green can write a good mystery if he wanted to, but not in a contemporary book, at least not for me. So, but by the end of it, I did read 2 John Green books, which means I read a total of 4, and like I think those are all his books that I owned. There's another one too, Turtles All the Way Down. I do want to read it because, like I said, I do like John Green's writing. I don't think I will not ever not read a book by John Green because I like it. I just don't think that what he writes about particularly is for me. So I'm gonna try Turtles All the Way Down. I have heard people say it's a great book. So hopefully it's like either I like it or it's on the same level as The Fault in Our Stars, where I like it enough to want to reread it and keep it. But we shall see. But yeah, mixed reviews about the books, but also really happy that I read them. And I'm not as scared about reading John Green books as I was before, which is like, you know, what we want, you know? You don't want to be scared of a book. And on that same day, I did finish one manga, and that was Kiss and White Lily for My Dearest Girl, the longest title ever. This is volume 2, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really like this. I gave the first novel, I think, either a 3 or a 3.5. It just really wasn't what I was thinking. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't what I thought. But reading the second novel, I guess maybe I was just more used to the style, the way it goes and whatnot. But I think I just enjoyed the characters in this one a lot more. I definitely will be picking up more of the book. I think there's like up to volume 9 that is coming out. I think it's coming out like in September, volume 9. So maybe I can catch up with this series. That would be really cool so I can read them as they come out. But yeah, I like this one. I like the characters in this one. So we shall see if volume 3 has characters that I like. So I think I briefly mentioned how this book is. It's not like a full story that continues from volume to volume. Basically, I would say every chapter follows either one girl closely, but it'll always be more than one character in the chapter. And it really follows, I guess, their, like, who they have a crush on, who they love, who they're dating and stuff. And then every other chapter always features a character you either were introduced in the one you just read or something like that. So it is interesting to see how everyone is connected, or something like that, or how they know each other, how certain characters know each other. But I just, like I said, I think I just enjoyed this more because I like the characters more. I think it just flowed better in terms of relationships, and the art is really pretty. The art is so pretty. Like, if I can show this correctly, but like, how pretty is that? I don't know. It's just really my kind of style in manga. I have different styles, but I am very picky about how the art is, which I think is why I like manga more than any other illustrated thing, because I just really like the art. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and I'm happy I read it for this challenge. So moving on to what I read on the last day, the first thing that I finished is the clip you just saw before this, and I had read To All the Boys I Loved Before and finished it, and I love this so much. I did not give a rating in that clip because I had just finished it and I wasn't really into how I felt about the whole thing, but I did ultimately give it a 4.5 out of 5, which is the best one out of all the books that I read, which I'm really, really happy. I really enjoyed this. I was like gripped, I wouldn't say from the very beginning because you were only getting introduced to the characters, but oh man, this was so good. Like, I need to get the second book. I need to finish it. I need to see what happens, but I cannot wait to see the movie. Like, I'm just hyped about this book. I don't want to go into too many details, obviously, because a lot of things can be spoilery, but I like the characters, I like the way it was written. I do like some of the conflicts, although some I felt like especially near the ending, I was just like, did you have to go with that? I feel like that's like so typical, at least I'm used to it because manga does that a lot. But I really enjoyed it so much. I like Jenny Han's writing for sure. I think out of John Green and Jenny Han, I would prefer Jenny Han. But yeah, I like the pacing of the book. I like the characters. I did like a couple of characters less, which is not too bad because it still made the book very interesting. And yeah, 4.5 out of 5. I'm so happy that I gave this book a good rating because I kind of wanted to like this one. I really wanted to like it because I do want to like contemporary books. Not that I don't want to. I want them to be interesting, but I think they can't be too serious for me. I think they need to have a little bit of comedy in it. Like, this makes like the perfect rom-com, which I'm sure that's what the movie is. So I think I just need some books that have some comedy. It can't be all serious and stuff. Although The Fault in Our Stars wasn't too bad. So something like in that feel, like To All the Boys I Loved Before, Fault in Our Stars type of writing or storyline. I don't know. It's really hard to to talk about because even I'm not sure. I cannot wait to continue with the series. Hopefully, the second and third one are good. Because I'm scared. I've heard the second and third one are not as great as the first one. So hoping the best for me and that I like them or that I'm at least satisfied with them. And moving on to the last book that I read, and that is the last manga, and that is Alice in the Country of Clover, Cheshire Cat Waltz, which volume 1, which I gave. I think I gave it a 3 or a 3.5. I'm not 100% sure because I think I gave it 3.5, but I think I marked it down to a 3. Basically, almost dropped it. Basically, it's not that I didn't like it. I did like it, but because I hadn't read the original story, Alice in the Country of Hearts and Forever, I was kind of getting used to the characters again, and, you know, I'm not like whatever age I was, like 15, 16 when I read it or whatever, but so it's not like what I would, like, I don't feel comfortable with some of the themes anymore, but I still liked it. I really did like it. I'm just getting used to the characters, so maybe the second one will be more. Usually I can get past some like problematic characters or problematic situations in manga just because I'm used to it. I just think it's not so much like the author or something is trying to portray something. It's just part of like manga culture and anime culture. But it really did bother me a little bit, so I think I just need to push through it and kind of remember this is manga. This isn't a novel. This is supposed to, you know, this is a woman in a fictional land, you know, and it's not like it's 100% bad, but, you know, anyways, so that's it. I had to give it 3 out of 5 because I'm just getting used to the characters, but I still enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be picking up more, obviously, and maybe I'll give it a better rating if I reread the original and then reread this. I think I would definitely give it a better rating, but for now, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. So those are all the books that I read. So again, 2 mangas and 3 novels. I'm really happy with my reads. So the point of this video is to see if I like contemporary books. And I can say I am interested in contemporary because I can read them, like Love and Gelato, which is the other book I started reading. I am interested in that one, obviously, because I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it. But I just think I'm a little bit more picky when it comes to contemporary. I can't just read any contemporary. I think I either have to like the author or be interested in the storyline beforehand. For example, like I wasn't interested in John Green's books just from like the premise of it when I was reading it, but the premise to All the Boys I Loved Before really drew me in and ended up being the one I liked the most. It's nice to see that I can enjoy contemporary and now I'm not too scared about trying contemporary books. I think if anything, I'm more interested in contemporary books than I was before, at least in the genre of like To All the Boys I Loved Before with some comedy in it. So yeah, that's the overall opinions of the books. I'm gonna end it here because I need to include this clip for the big video that you're watching and then upload it because I need to upload it today. So you are seeing this today. I'm sorry that I look like a mess and that I didn't film yesterday, but you know, like I was tired and I wanted to take a break from reading. I was reading a lot of books in 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting. I'm sorry if like it wasn't what you thought in terms of like video clips, but like let me know if there's anything I could change for the next time because I do think I want to try doing more of these like special videos, as I like to call them, where like I challenge myself or I do things inspired by other booktubers just to be a little bit more original, I guess. But this was one that I was really happy that I came up with because it just fits me. I mean, I don't think anyone would try this just because I was unsure and it answered my question at the end. So obviously it's a good idea. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a comment if you either have opinions on the books that I read, or if you have any suggestions for future videos like this, like what I can improve, what you would want to be included, things like that. I always like feedback because then I can always improve myself, which is always fun. But yeah, if you did, also give it a like, maybe subscribe if you enjoyed this video, but I understand if you don't want to. And I will potentially see you in my next one. Bye!